People ask me a lot of questions, but one question they ask is, what specifically has block therapy done for you? They want to know, does it really help? And they want examples of like real things that have improved. And so I am happy to share a couple of things that block therapy has done for me. One of those things is it has really helped me with migraines. I haven't had one in about 2.5 years now, and that is huge. If you have migraines, you know how huge that is. As I started being a student of my own body, I realized something. My migraines didn't come out of the blue like I thought they did. A couple of days ahead of a migraine, I would have a migraine aura. And I knew I had those auras, but I didn't really pay attention to the patterns until I started block therapy, because with block therapy, you really tune in to what's going on with your specific body. And that was very enlightening for me. I started using block therapy when I would have the aura instead of waiting for the migraine. And that changed a lot. So being able to understand that pattern was really, really helpful. Another part of my pattern I figured out because of the focus with block therapy of understanding your own body was several days prior to the aura, I would get this very specific pattern of tension through the back of my neck and into my shoulder. And I didn't realize that before. And so now I can pay attention to that tension. I can use block therapy at the beginning, very beginning of that tension, and it will dissipate, and I don't get the migraine auras either. It's been about 2 years since I've had a migraine aura, and all of that is so significant to me because migraine stole a lot of hours of my life and contributed a lot of pain too. Another part of my life that has changed is my hypermobility. Now, my hypermobility is different for pretty much every person who has it. For me, I had a lot of partial dislocations of joints. With hypermobility, your tissue is lax and the joints don't stay where they're supposed to be. And so I would have joints pop in and out of place regularly. One of the worst was my knee, which would come, not be where it was supposed to multiple times a day. I would have to pop it back into place multiple times a day. The most painful was that my hip would come out of socket, and that was excruciating. I could hardly walk. It was very painful, and sometimes it would come out of place when I was trying to walk already. Not just like sitting in a comfy chair, but in the middle of somewhere where I had to walk somewhere else. And that was really hard because I couldn't always get that joint to go back where it needed to go quickly. It sounds odd to people who don't deal with hypermobility, but one of the cool things we figure out if we have hypermobility is how to put joints back in place all by ourselves. It doesn't always work. And sometimes there's lingering soreness and pain even after you get that joint back where it goes. For quite a while, every time I inhaled or exhaled, my spine would click in and out of place in this one spot. And that was super annoying. Not too painful, but really annoying and unsettling for that to happen when you're breathing. And weird. Really weird. So I have drastically reduced the amount of those subluxations that I have in my joints. My knee hardly ever pops out again, and I don't really remember the last time my hip did. And that weird thing with my spine, it just doesn't happen anymore. I've got a lot more stability in my tissues, and it has been great. It's been a blessing. The other thing that has improved with regard to hypermobility is my eyesight. And some people don't realize your eyesight really can be affected by hypermobility. But those very same issues you have with laxity that allow your joints to move too far and be out of alignment, they also affect how your eyes are able to focus. And so if you're tired, or if the conditions change, like it's super dark or cloudy or maybe too bright, different kinds of conditions affect affect people differently, but there are people who have multiple prescription glasses because their vision changes so much. And I had to have different glasses for different days so that I could read, so that I could drive, so that I could drive at night. It was just, it's kind of hard to deal with. It just affects every part of your day. And my vision has become pretty stable now. I do still need glasses if I'm really, really tired or it's really dim. I might pull some out. But otherwise, I don't have to have glasses everywhere I go all the time now. And that's really cool. I have really been blessed with these couple things and more since I started Black Therapy. And the reason Black Therapy can help multiple different conditions that don't seem really related is because fascia is at the heart of this work. And breath is at the heart of this work. And if you are working to calm down your nervous system, to improve flow, to improve circulation, to oxygenate your body better, your body is going to function better. And because it's a holistic approach instead of a symptom approach, we're not looking at each symptom as a separate task to do, like in physical therapy or something like that. We're looking at your body as a whole, of being a student of your body, of figuring out patterns in your body, and of addressing those with a simple method called Black Therapy.